Today's problem looks like it's really easy, and just like in any limit problem, we have to be conscious of what x is approaching or what the variable is approaching. And in this case, x is approaching 5, and it looks like we can just do a direct substitution, plugging 5 in for x. And if we did that, we would think, okay, well, the square root of 5 minus 5 equals the square root of 0 equals 0. And all of that is wrong. What we have to do is we need to go back to what we know about limits. And there are 3 ways that a limit fails to exist. One of them is unbounded behavior. One of them is oscillating behavior. The one we're concerned about is really different left and right hand limits. In order for a limit to exist, like the limit as x approaches c of f of x, to exist, that means that the limit as x approaches c from the right of f of x has to exist, and the limit as x approaches c from the left has to exist. And not only do both of those have to exist, but they have to equal each other. And that's where we pick this problem up. If you were to look at the limit as x approaches 5 from the right of the square root of x minus 5, just imagine we're taking values like 5.1, 5.01, 5.001, and if you take each one of those as x gets closer and closer to 5, we get 5.1 minus 5 is 0.1, and the square root of 0.1 is even smaller than 0.1, and we get closer and closer and closer to 0 as x gets closer and closer to 5 from the right. So it would be correct to say that the limit as x approaches 5 from the right goes to 0. But the limit as x approaches 5 from the left of the square root of x minus 5. Well, just imagine that. We've got 4.9 is to the left of 5, 4.99, 4.999, even 4.9. 4.9 minus 5 is going to be negative 0.1, and you can't take the square root of negative 0.1. You can't take the square root of negative anything in the real number system. So this limit fails to exist. Well, if this limit fails to exist, then this whole scenario right over here is violated, which means that this limit up here can't exist, and that does not exist. So to sum this up, the limit from the left has to be the same as the limit from the right in order for what I call the full limit as x approaches 5, to exist.